Week 1 is finally here for the Chicago Bears, and we already have some very exciting news for the team as the Chicago Bears named 8 permanent captains for the season, doubling last year's total. And it's a big group, and it includes rookie quarterback Caleb Williams. And to break it all down with me today, I have very special guest Rashad from the Windy City Productions. Rashad, welcome to the show, and how you feeling about Week 1?
Feeling pretty good about week 1. I'm thinking it's going to be a win. You know, it's been bad couple years for the Bears, obviously, but it does feel like we're back based on all the energy around this team with Caleb Williams. So I'm feeling pretty good about the Bears right now.
Do you think with it being a home game, week 1 against the Titans, do you think Caleb's going to break 300 yards in his first opening at bat, or are you just hoping for the win?
Yeah, I'm not going to predict that just because the Titans do have a pretty solid defense. I feel like they did make acquisitions, obviously, in L'Jarius Sneed, T'Vondre Sweat in the NFL draft. So they do have some pieces on this defense where I don't think Caleb's going to go off for 300 right away. But I also wouldn't be surprised if it did happen because we do have all those weapons. And, you know, if we do decide to throw the football a lot in the first game, which could be possible, right? Like we do have the weapons for it. Maybe I could see it, but I'm predicting more towards like 250-ish, 225-ish yards, which should still be good enough to win, you know, with the defense that we have.
I think this defense is going to be absolutely unstoppable, and I also think Caleb Williams is also going to be unstoppable. And something to celebrate week 1 and this great season ahead of us, we are giving away a Caleb Williams autographed football to one lucky subscriber. To enter, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel with notifications, and comment in the comment section right now who your favorite captain is. If you're in the live chat, make sure you comment right now. Or if you're watching after the live stream is over, make sure to do it in the comment section below. So let's get into captain number 1, Rashad, and that is obviously quarterback Caleb Williams. I wasn't expecting him to be captain, to be honest, because he is a rookie. We have a lot of guys that are veterans that, you know, could absolutely have that status, but quarterback is your leader, your fierce leader out there. How are you feeling about Williams being a captain in his rookie season?
I like it. I think the Bears said that there's never been a rookie captain in the history, you know, of the Bears, right? So it is a pretty big deal that Caleb, as a rookie quarterback, already earned his teammates' respect to be voted a captain. But it does make sense, right, with all he's done in the offseason, with the hype surrounding him. You know, I think all of these teammates do respect him and respect what he did at USC, respect what he's done in the offseason to the point where they already do believe in him. So I think it's pretty cool that Caleb is, you know, the captain, and he's still obviously going to have a lot to learn. You know, he's not going to be perfect right away, but you know, the quarterback always should be the leader of this team, and Caleb does have those leadership qualities, which we saw at USC. We're seeing here where, you know, he's checking in on everybody. He's, you know, coaching guys up. Even as a rookie, he was coaching up. I think Roma Dunze in one of those games where he was talking about his route running, what he could have done a little bit better. So I love it. Like, it's a good thing that a rookie quarterback is already the captain.
And I mean, a Heisman Trophy winner. He's done it, had a fantastic camp. He looks like a legitimate NFL quarterback. I'm happy about it because it shows that when he walked into camp, he literally said, ears open, mouth is closed. And he's clearly done that, and he's gotten the respect. I mean, Keenan Allen is always a captain. He wasn't a captain. Montez Sweat, our big defensive player that we brought in last year, not a captain. Obviously, Jaylon Johnson is. But overall, I was kind of shocked Keenan Allen didn't get it. If anyone was not, and Montez Sweat, okay, like, you got it okay there. But Keenan Allen, I was a little bit shocked by, but hey, Caleb Williams got it, fierce leader out there, and he's going to have to see. So now you've bought a number 13 Caleb Williams jersey. You've now bought an 18 jersey. Are you going to buy the captain patch jersey next?
Not right now. Maybe if he wins a playoff game for us, then I will. I think I have enough jerseys of Caleb right now, but I do want to get one, you know. It does seem pretty cool.
The one thing, too, that I've noticed with Caleb Williams, and we've seen this a lot in Hard Knocks, is just how mature he is for a rookie. Like, he's gone through, you know, Hollywood. He's been with the press. He's dealt with drama, you know, people not liking that his fingernails are painted, don't like how he kind of acted. He made all this money. He drives a Rolls Royce, whatever. He's an athlete. Like, that's what they do. Quarterbacks get paid big money. Even if he wasn't an NIL, like, superior guy, he would be doing all that stuff. But it also shows how mature he is. You give a 22-year-old, tens of millions of dollars over the last couple of years before he even enters the NFL, changes things up a little bit for him. So I think the maturity is absolutely there. And that's what I really like to see in him too. I saw him becoming a captain too at the same time because he's quarterback leader, but he is just so darn mature for his age. And that just makes him so much different. And how he works with the officials. The one thing I want to hear your thoughts on this, Rashab, is the coaches are really maturing him too. I like that they bring him into the room before every game and they talk about just the officials for 30 minutes. This is about them. This is their life, so on and so forth. And then they showed clips of Caleb walking up to him, asking those exact questions, doing that. How do you feel the Bears coaches are preparing him to be in this NFL?
They're doing a really good job, as we saw in Hard Knocks. I didn't even know that they have in-depth scouting of the officials. I didn't know that was a thing for NFL teams to do, but I guess it does make sense because each official is a little bit different. They call certain things a little bit differently. So I think Shane Waldron, Matt Eberflus even has done, a really good job of preparing Caleb for what life in the NFL is going to be like his first year, really putting him in a position to succeed his first year, which I feel like we didn't really do for our previous quarterbacks, which is why I think that Caleb is going to be successful because, first of all, he is the most talented quarterback that we have ever had, but we're also putting him in a position to be successful, which we have never done. And, like you said in the Hard Knocks, we saw so many behind the scenes of him talking with his teammates, kind of being that leader in the locker room, which you never see for a 22-year-old quarterback, right? I feel like our previous quarterbacks, Trubisky, Justin Fields, the others, they weren't this level of confidence their first year, which does make a big difference. I know that some people think it's cockiness, but you got to be borderline cocky to become a good quarterback in this league, right? You see Aaron Rodgers, you see, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, these guys talk their shit all the time. And Caleb does that too. Obviously, you have to prove it on the football field. So, if he goes out there, stinks it up this season, that stuff is not going to matter. But I think he does have the talent and the leadership and the confidence to really be that, QB1 that the Bears have never had.
I agree. And it's a good feeling too, because when we started our channels, we were dealing with Mike Glennon, Mitchell Trubisky, everybody nothing against just Nick Foles. Even though Nick Foles, the last Bears quarterback to play against the Tennessee Titans, what was it? What'd you write? 334 yards and 3 touchdowns?
335 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. We still lost that game 24-17 because of Matt Nagy, probably. But.
The coach we will not name. We will not name. Let's go to the Bears' next captain, a guy that was a captain last year for the team, wide receiver DJ Moore, his second season. And here's something that's crazy that I want to go through. And also shout out to you actually texted me last night about it, the Caleb Williams retweet about this tweet.
Oh, yeah.
This is an absolutely insane stat. One, DJ Moore deserves to be a captain. I saw a couple people in the comments saying how they're happy that Moore is a captain, but DJ Moore is the only player besides Randy Moss, Mike Evans, DeAndre Hopkins, and Larry Fitzgerald to have more receiving yards before turning 27 years old, and he has never been a Pro Bowler. Absolutely insane, but he deserves to be a captain. He's such a mature guy on and off the field. He's a family man too, which I think is a really good thing. And by the way, everyone, captains are voted on by the players. This was not a coach's decision. So all the players got together and they chose 8 different captains. I kind of want to hear in Hard Knocks if there was an 8-way tie or something, or they actually opened it up for that. But Rashab, how do you feel about DJ Moore being captain in his second year as a Chicago Bear?
I like it. I didn't really expect it because DJ Moore is kind of one of the more quieter people I feel like on this team. Obviously he jokes around and, makes everybody laugh, but he's not necessarily a very vocal leader, I'd say, but like DJ Moore said, you can lead by example. You can lead by your actions on the football field. And DJ Moore has been one of the best receivers in the NFL during his entire career. And as you mentioned, he has insane career accolades and is still very underrated by the entire NFL. He was not even voted as a top 100 player in the NFL, which I still cannot get over that. How the hell was he not voted as a top 100 player? So, it is pretty cool that his teammates do respect him, though, to the point where they did make him a captain for the first time in his career, because I think I read that with the Carolina Panthers, he was never a captain there for whatever reason. So pretty cool that coming over here to Chicago Bears, he was voted the captain. He's having better success here than he even had in Carolina. So I definitely think it's well-deserved that DJ Moore, is a team leader, team captain.
I couldn't agree more. Quickly before we get more into DJ Moore, because I want to break down some of his stats for everybody, because we did just have a ton of people just join. If you haven't already, if you please could, if you want to enter our Caleb Williams autograph giveaway, it's an autograph football. One lucky subscriber will get it. What you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment in the live chat who your favorite captain is out of the 8. Rashab and I are going through them all right now. Want to make sure you guys get your chance in order to win this pretty awesome prize to celebrate week 1. So, Rashad, kind of to go through, like you were saying, never a captain in Carolina, which I think is absolutely insane. DJ Moore, 27 years old. It's so weird because he's the same age as me, but he's got kids. Dude's worth, millions of dollars, and he's a professional athlete. Going through his stats in 6 years in the NFL, 5 with Carolina, 1 with the Bears. He has 4 1,000-plus yard receiving seasons. Last year was a career high across the board. 17 games, 136 targets with 96 receptions, 1,364 receiving yards with a 14.2 yard per catch average, 8 receiving touchdowns, 64 first downs. And this dude also, on top of it, rushing-wise, had a rushing touchdown. I mean, he just brings everything that you want as a player to this team. He's so mature, and he had nothing going through him last year. He had Luke Getsy as his coordinator. He had no wide receiver help, nothing against Darnell Mooney or anything, but seriously, like Equanimeous St. Brown and Dante Pettis were his supporting cast, and Dante Pettis is back on the roster. I just think DJ Moore plays with so much energy, like that comment that he made when he got tackled, like, I just want to play football against the Bills. That's what you want as a teammate on the field. And I think that he just brings that grit. If we were to give anyone the most grit on this team, I think DJ Moore gets it. I'd like to hear your thought on it too. Maybe you have someone else in mind. But DJ Moore just gets it that this team wants a top wide receiver, wants a top offense, doesn't want to be known for its defense, even though our defense looks amazing. I think DJ Moore was absolutely deserving of this.
100%. He's not a diva either, like some of these receivers are. Like if you look at some of the top receivers in the game, like a lot of them, are kind of me first guys that want their big time money as well, which is fair. But like DJ Moore also took a kind of a discount, I feel like, to sign back with the Chicago Bears. Rather, he could have, not signed right now, waited until the last second and probably got paid a lot more money, put more pressure on the Bears to give him, 30 plus million per year. But he got a deal that's only like 27-ish million per year. I'd have to look at the numbers, but like his current deal already, with the Chicago Bears is only paying him, I think it's like 16 million per year for the next 2 seasons, right? So even that one is a discount. And the next one also is going to be a discount with how much the salary cap is going up. So I love the DJ Moore, like you mentioned, is a family man, he's humble, grounded, loves his teammates, doesn't talk, he's not like overly cocky or anything. And you don't see that at the receiver spot, especially with the receiver as talented as a DJ Moore. So 100% agree. Like he deserves this honor for sure.
I want to go back to your comment real quick. I pulled up Adam Schefter's tweet about all the paid wide receivers across the league after CeeDee Lamb got paid. So Brandon Ayuk, 4-year, $120 million. It's $30 million a year. CeeDee Lamb, 4 years, $136 million. So he's making over $30 million plus a season. Justin Jefferson's making $40 million a year. DJ Moore, 4 years, $110 million. So wow. He's making... what would that be? Quick math. That'd be like 27.5 million. And he's putting up similar stats to Justin Jefferson, who's making 13 million more. I did a breakdown, CeeDee Lamb versus DJ Moore. And CeeDee Lamb, if Moore would have gotten the same receptions as him, they had the same yard per catch. They had the same touchdowns. And he was only 17 first downs less. But guess who had 17 catches more? CeeDee Lamb. So wow. It's just crazy how Ryan Poles is working these deals. And you can tell that DJ Moore wants to play here. Like he loves being a Chicago Bear. I also would like to thank the Carolina Panthers for absolutely everything for this. But
franchise.
I mean, what a terrible trade for them. But
I still can't get over that. Like that one decision by Ryan Poles is going to result in the next 10 years of Bears football being really good, hopefully. So.
Do you remember where you were? And I want to hear the live chat too, but I want to hear your story. So chat, we got 71 people in here right now. Chat, where were you and what was your reaction when the Carolina Panthers Bears trade went down for the number 1 pick? I know where I was. I want to hear your story though, Rashab.
I was on the way back from the dentist actually. I remember because I was there for like a cleaning appointment, whatever. So, and my dentist is like 35 minutes away. So I was on like a long drive back to my house. And I remember right before, couple of the Bears, like not insiders, but like the Bears blog and like some of the similar guys that have like sources apparently in the building, they were tweeting about Carolina potentially, being close on a deal, but I didn't think that was going to be real. So, but I mean, I was expecting maybe something to happen though when I got back. So, drive back to my house, check my phone. Then I get the alert from Adam Schefter, DJ Moore, traded to the Chicago Bears, a bunch of compensation too. And I just start screaming around the house, just like going crazy. Film a video right afterwards, which probably my happiest reaction ever to any trade, besides the Khalil Mack trade, but I don't think I recorded my reaction to that. So I was like euphoric, basically. What was your story?
So I was on my cousin's bachelor party in Scottsdale, Arizona. I was at the Cubs White Sox spring training game. So it's all Chicago fans in the stadium. Yeah. And we're in the outfield. And as rumors start flying up, I'm wearing my Just Another Year shirt. And some people looked over and they saw me. They're like, "Hey, do you hear what's happening?" I was like, "No, what's going on?" A couple beers deep too. And they go, "Dude, DJ Moore is coming to the Chicago Bears." I was like, for what? And that's when I like make all these mock trades and stuff. Like we were making mock trades for that before it happened. And everyone's like, we're never going to happen. And it was a franchise changing moment. But the best part is that everyone in that stadium was either a Chicago fan, Cubs, Sox. We're all Bears fans at the end of the day. Everyone lost their minds. So it was absolutely incredible. We'll look for what the chat has to say in a little bit. But let's go into our next guy, Cole Kmet, who first year captain, first year in his big contract. So he was on his rookie contract last year. This is the first year that he's actually getting paid big money to be a top 10 tight end. He's getting top 10 money. He's obviously very favored in the Chicagoland area. Great community guy. I honestly like Cole Kmet puts up great stats. I'll pick him up in a minute because I want to hear kind of your reaction to it. We can talk through it. But Cole Kmet he embraces Chicago. He grew up a Bears fan, and that's what I also love about this, is that he understands what this team means to this city. And I think he was absolutely deserving of this. A great guy on and off the field, great leader, especially on the field. But, what was your reaction seeing Cole Kmet finally get the C on his chest?
Yeah, I loved it as well. I mean, like you mentioned, like he is the embodiment of a Chicago Bear, I feel like, with how he plays on the football field. Tremendous blocker, super gritty, plays through pain, plays through injury. And, growing up in the Chicago area, obviously, is a big bonus of that, too. I love our local products, to get these guys in here that grew up watching the Chicago Bears, for them to, put the C on their chest. I'm sure that means a great deal to Cole Kmet. So really happy that he got this honor. And he's one of the better tight ends in football right now, right? Like if you look at his stats, if you look at his production last couple of years, like he has been up there in production. He gets very underrated, I feel like, by the NFL media and by NFL fans in general. But the money is being paid right now, which is only, was it 10, 12 million per year? Like that's very reasonable for what he provides to the Chicago Bears. Like he's not like a top 3 tight end or anything, but he is a good, solid, maybe top 10, top 12 tight end, which, for a Bears team that did not really have a good tight end after, what's his name, Greg Olsen. Like I think that's a fantastic, piece that we finally have on this team. So yeah, and he's been, very active in the media too. I feel like I know he joined the CHGO podcast with his own show, and he's been doing a lot of media interviews all over the place. So I feel like he's kind of become like the voice of the Chicago Bears in some ways, with how much he's been talking, how much he's been, discussing the team and being open about it. So I think it's definitely deserved.
I mean, shout out to Damon Dice for putting up the stats for us. I didn't even have to go look for it. I think it's super deserved too. 73 catches, 719 yards, and 6 touchdowns. And think about it. He played with a really bad ankle injury in that Green Bay game last year. Still had a pretty good game there as well. He just overall, he just has it. He gets this team. He knows what it's like. I like that he wears 85 on top of it. I don't know if it's because of the 85 Bears. There's just something about it. But when you look back at like the 85 Bears, you think of the guys like Jimbo Covert, Dan Hampton. Like, I don't know why Kmet gives me that kind of energy, that it's like, okay, this is going to be like a Bears legend that you remember forever. And, you start off your career a little slower. I'm not saying his career was slow by any means. I mean, super impressive stats across the board. He's gotten better every single year. He obviously had 7 touchdowns in 22, 6 last year, but he's improving in every single way. That's why I'm also happy. The next guy we're about to talk about, that Marcedes Lewis is back. But yeah, like Kmet's just a good player to have. And also, so he literally yesterday, my buddy sent me a video of it. He just walks around the city like he's a normal person too. Like he's a Chicagoland kid at the end of the day. Like he was walking around the city. You can't miss him. He's 6'6", 275 pounds. Like he's a very large man. But he just obviously gets that this team just wants a winner and wants to be happy and wants things to continue to go well for this team. So I think Kmet's absolutely going to be the guy, absolutely deserves this. And that's a jersey I would get a C on because I feel like he's going to finish his career with the Bears.
Oh, yeah.
And he's, like you kind of were saying, best tight end since Greg Olsen. I would
we had Martellus Bennett.
Yeah, but
I don't know. He was only here for a couple years, right? And he had some. Didn't he have like the fight with like Kyle Fuller back in the day? Like I don't know. There was some drama going on with him on this team. So I feel like Cole Kmet is a lot more. Maybe not as cocky.
I like how Cole Kmet also works. Like Austin Reed and him were really good friends. An undrafted rookie free agent. Like Kmet didn't act like he was better than anybody in any situation. He just understood like we're all people. I think Cole Kmet's a really good guy. And I've heard from people that I went to college with who went to Barrington High School or from the area of Barrington, grew up with him. He always was just a level-headed kid, really good guy overall. And also, you said it before, I love his podcast. He's going to be very talented the rest of his career. Have you listened to his shows?
A little bit, yeah. I heard some of it where he was talking about. I think he was talking about or he had like DJ Moore on the show, right? And they were talking about Adam Hogue like disrespecting DJ Moore or something on the show. It was like a joke that they had, but I thought that was pretty funny to just hear them kind of talk about all that stuff in the open. Which like because you don't get players being that open with the media usually, so that's why I appreciate Cole Kmet that he is super honest, super real to us because we can sense it. Like that's why, like you said, like he's a true Chicago kid, and we feel like he's one of us playing on the team. So that's why Bears fans love him too.
And he wants his team to win so damn bad. That's just my favorite part about the whole darn thing. He just wants the Bears to win. Let's go into the next guy real quick. And also keep the chat live, guys. We got almost 100 people in here now. So thanks, everybody, for joining. It's getting a lot of fun in here. We do have a giveaway going on right now. So make sure you smash that like button. We'll go up after Marcedes Lewis about what the giveaway is. But 40-year-old Marcedes Lewis, 19-year veteran, second year with the Chicago Bears, gets the captain nod. I kind of love this. Oldest guy on the team, most experience, clearly a leader. The Bears brought him in. There was no way they were cutting him either, by the way. Like everyone was like, oh, you might want to keep Brandon Bates. You don't get rid of a guy with this much experience. So I was super stoked about this, Captain. How'd you feel?
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, to be honest, because I thought this spot might go to like a Montez Sweat type of guy, which it's fine that he didn't get voted in. But like you said, like Marcedes Lewis is super old, nearing 40 or is 40 at this point. And I feel like he does bring a lot of value to this team, even as a blocking tight end. Like we saw him on some of those running plays, some of the other plays like last year. Like he was a big factor in making some successful plays be successful. And all the experience that he has, he can teach some of the younger guys. He can even talk to guys like Caleb, kind of provide him his wisdom. And I think it's super well deserved. And like Matt Eberflus already has a nickname for him, Big Dog. I think that's pretty cool as well. So yeah, Marcedes Lewis is like one of those guys that you really just root for. He's not going to be a flashy name. He's not going to be scoring a crazy amount of touchdowns, but from a blocking perspective, from a leadership perspective, he could be an important part to this Bears team. And like you mentioned, it will not make sense to cut him for a UDFA tight end, even though I know a lot of people are kind of pissed about that.
But like, why? I was a big Brandon Bates fan too, but like
we go out with our preseason training camp heroes. Like who was the one guy last year? There was like a defensive end last year that we cut, and he's not even in the NFL anymore. But all Bears fans were like super pissed that we cut him.
People were upset about Travis Gibson too.
Gibson.
Who was the wide receiver last year? He was like. He had like one big game. He was like the Colin Johnson of this year. Like Colin Johnson. I was like, guys, he's not making the roster. Like
I know Rodney Adams was like that was a
Rodney Adams.
Yeah, I think that was during the Andy Dalton year. Could be wrong though. I mean, these guys come and go every single year, right? So you can't get too attached to them. And we have a good enough team now where we shouldn't be too attached to, practice squad, training camp types of players.
It's a good feeling to have. Like I fully admit that you tweeted out like there's someone that's sick that's going to be super excited about the Kansas City twos going out there, and I was like, that's me. I absolutely admit that I fall in love with players way too often, but I'm excited for Brendan Bates. But anyway, Marcedes Lewis, obviously a captain, 19 years in the league, one-time Pro Bowler. He was a captain with the Jaguars. He was a captain with the Packers. He comes to Chicago. He's a captain with them now. And this is the only guy I feel like that's come from Green Bay that hasn't caused us issues over the last couple of years. So I was pretty stoked about this, making him a captain, and very well deserved, as we can tell. Rashad, we almost got 100 people in here again. So quickly want to just give everybody the notification again about our Caleb Williams autographed football giveaway. All you have to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and comment in the live chat if you haven't already, your favorite captain. And if you're watching after, make sure you put it in the comment section below. Winner will be announced during the post-game live this upcoming Sunday after the Titans-Bears game. So let's go into the defense now, Rashad. Obviously a clear favorite to win this one, but cornerback Jaylon Johnson, the leader of the DB room, 24 years old, first-time Pro Bowler last year, 38.2 QBR when targeted in 2023. And this guy he gets it. He's the absolute man. I think this is obviously well-deserved. And also that number 1 jersey with the captain. If anyone bought a Fields one last year, all you got to do is just take it to somebody and just have the back taken off and put some new letters on it. But how you feeling about Jaylon being a captain?
I love it. It's super well-deserved. He's the best cornerback in football right now. He was last year. I know he also did not get voted as a top 100 player, which is just blows my mind. Like, how does that possibly happen? I mean, these guys watch film. They know what's going on, but they still vote their friends over people that actually deserve it. So, putting that rant aside, I mean, obviously his teammates, Jaylon Johnson's teammates, know how successful he is, how good of a player he is. And he's also become a leader on this team, like you mentioned. Like, he's been mentoring Tyreek Stevenson, Kyler Gordon, all the young guys we have in the DB room. They have learned a lot from a guy like Jaylon Johnson. And he also is not getting paid like a crazy amount of money, right? Like, I think he's like the 8th highest paid cornerback in football, or 9th highest paid, when he very well could be the highest paid corner in football if he did not want to be here. But just like Cole Kmet, just like some of the other guys, like, he took a little bit less money, I feel like, to stay here with the Chicago Bears to be a part of what they're building, which I do appreciate a lot. And that's why I think he is a captain on this team as well. And he's also super fun just to like listen to talk, because he talks a lot, in the mic'd up videos in training camp, to the Hard Knocks cameras. Like, he has a fun personality, big personality. So he definitely does deserve this honor.
So I wanted to go and make sure that we got the right stats on where he ranks from a paid perspective. He's actually 11th. After this,
wow,
yeah,
that's like, crazy.
I'm like looking at Antonio Winfield Jr. with the Buccaneers makes over 21 million. Jar Alexander 21 million. AJ Terrell 20 million. Denzel Ward, almost a Chicago Bear way back when, also 20 million plus. I mean, these guys are getting stupid big money. You pay Jaylon Johnson, who's proven to be the best DB in the NFL over the last couple of seasons. And it's exciting. Like, that is good. That is good stuff right there. You look at a guy who had over 10 plus pass deflections, 4 interceptions, a pick 6 last year. The one thing that just holds him back, I think, and I think why he didn't get paid more, is that he cannot consistently stay healthy. That's the one thing. He has never completed an NFL season, but he played in most games last year. I mean, he's just a super special player, and he's only 21 years old. So if he could be the Bears captain throughout the next 10 years, he's 24 years old.
Yeah,
it's not 21 years old. He was drafted, though, when he was 20. Very young guy in this league. So he just plays so much older than he is. And I think that's because he's listened to Kyler, not Kyler Gordon. He works with these other guys. He listens to Kevin Byard. Eddie Jackson was a big reason why. Kyle Fuller, he entered the league with a good DB leaders in front of him. And that's why I think he's become so successful. And he is owning being that new guy, because Eddie Jackson used to bring the guys over, take them out for food, all this other stuff. Now you hear Jaylon Johnson doing that. So overall, really good guy to have in your locker room, and especially be a captain.
100%. And he's getting better and better every single year. I think that not making the top 100 last year is definitely going to motivate him to even have a better season than he had last year. So yeah, I don't think he's stopping anytime soon. Well, what was that comment? We still own you, Packers fan.
Yeah, they're just nervous.
Things are going to change this year, man. I know we've been saying that every single year, but this year things are actually going to be different. We're going to beat you guys at least once.
I like how Ron instantly right after goes FGB. So, guys, we got 100 people in here. Let's throw some FGBs in the live chat to show that we're not afraid of Green Bay anymore. I love that we just do that. That's one of my favorite things. So, throw an FGB in the live chat right now if you haven't already. Let's go. But Jaylon Johnson, super pumped about him. Next guy, though, another returning captain for the Chicago Bears, Tremaine Edmunds, was a captain last year for the Chicago Bears, was a captain with the Buffalo Bills, entering the second year of his 4-year, $72 million contract, another steal. I think this video is starting to turn into we love Ryan Poles and him negotiating, but an absolute steal. Like,
oh, yeah.
And a great, I don't know if people remember, but Tremaine Edmunds, I know you remember for sure, but when we went to camp together last year, Tremaine, that was the camp practice that he got hurt. And then he was out the rest of camp. And people were like, we're not sure if this guy's going to even play in week 1 or week 2. We don't even know he's going to come back. He came back for week 1, looked super slow and shaky. No denial about it. But he's everything in a bag of chips that you wanted out of the Chicago Bears linebacker group. And let's look at it. Let's break down his stats real quick. First of all, he's 26 years old, so he's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. Wow. 2-time Pro Bowler. Last year with the Bears, he did get hurt in the middle of the season, missed 2 games, but had 4 interceptions, a pick 6, 7 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 1 fumble recovery, 113 tackles, 69 of them being solo. Nice. 5 tackles for loss. So dude absolutely deserves it. And he's a great leader too. And he's proven that at such a young age. We have a lot of young captains, which I also think is a really big deal.
Yeah, 100%. I always forget that Tremaine Edmunds is only 26 years old because he's been in the NFL since 2018. I think he was in the same draft as Roquan Smith, but I think he got drafted when he was like 19, 20 or something. So yeah, pretty cool that he's still super young. He still has a lot of room to grow and to get better and still has a long career ahead of him. And like you mentioned, just his long arms, like in the middle of the field, it's just so hard to pass over those, right? And he can come through on a blitz as well. He had some quarterback pressures, I believe, on blitz attempts. So, yeah, really primed for a breakout season. And he's another guy that I feel like the NFL media doesn't talk a whole lot about. Like, they don't really view Tremaine Edmunds as one of the better linebackers in football, which I think he has become one of the better.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Rashab? Oh, Rashab, we lost you. Okay, I don't know if it's just me, but we lost Rashab.
Okay, I think we're back. I think Nick cut out for a little bit, but
we're back.
Can you guys hear us right now? If you want to comment in the chat.
Do you hear me, Rashab? Uh-oh. You back?
Okay. Hello?
Oh no. Who do you guys hear? Who you guys hear? Oh no. Okay. Rashab is figuring out his technical difficulties right now. But we are going over everybody right now. Do you guys just let us know if you can hear us? Oh, we lost Rashab. Okay, so let's go. We'll go back to him in a minute. But right now we are currently going through Tremaine Edmunds, which keep the live chat going, guys. We got Don Byrne here right now. So clearly Don Burr, we all saw you cheer on the Chicago Bears in Locked On Titans. Just want to put that out there. So overall, I think Tremaine Edmunds, we're talking about him right now. Tremaine Edmunds absolutely deserved this honor of being the Chicago Bears captain. Really good player overall. I like what he has to bring to the table. He doesn't play too aggressively. Okay. I'm going to text Rashab. So, I mean, Tremaine Edmunds, obviously pretty overall good player. Yeah, over 100 tackles, plays with a lot of grit, super good overall, has captain experience. I'm super excited about this. Sorry, guys. Texting Rashab right now so he can rejoin this live stream with us right now. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts too. And the fact that we got Don Byrne here clearly shows that he's thinking about the Bears right now. But yeah, let's go. Oh, shoot. What just happened? All right. Well, I guess we're still here. I don't know. Is there a solar flare or something, guys? Because we're starting to lose everything. But all right. So let's keep going. Where are y'all both? Y'all got to fix y'all connect. So you guys see me again? Oh, no. Am I gone? Well, that's not good. Let's see what you guys are. Okay, I think you guys are here. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So Tremaine Edmunds, wait for Rashad to rejoin. He's trying to rejoin right now. He just shot me a text. We're all good. Yep, there he is. Okay, super weird. Sorry, Rashad, you hear?
No worries. Yeah, I can hear you now.
That was so weird.
That's what happened to me before on StreamYard. I think just some glitch happened or something. All right. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, man. StreamYard just decided to have a little freak out about Tremaine Edmunds. I think Don Burr joined and everyone lost their minds, but we're all good. We're all good.
Don Burr for this problem.
I love it. Yeah, I blame Don Burr for that one, but we're all good. So, anything else that you want to say about Tremaine Edmunds before we go into the Bears' next captain, who's also a local Chicago kid?
Yeah, no, just he definitely deserves it. I think he's gonna have an even better season this year than he did last year, just for having another year in the system. And he really only turned it on in the second half of last season. So I think there's a lot more. Like he could be a guy that could make the All-Pro team. I feel like this year. So definitely excited for him.
And also a guy that got absolutely, totally, stolen like DJ Moore of a Pro Bowl last year. TJ Edwards, another captain for the Chicago Bears. So obviously that's pretty big news there. But I love that 2 Chicago kids are Bears captains, both the same age. And by the way, the biggest steal of Ryan Poles' overall GM experience. 3 years, $19 million. I love this guy, but Tremaine Edmunds, he just plays with so much energy. He's never not going 100%. 17-game player, over 150 tackles last year. Absolutely deserving of being a captain. He is deserving, but at the same time, I was slightly shocked because of how overlooked he is as an outside linebacker. I thought Montez Sweat would have gotten it, but a very deserving guy if you have to agree or disagree.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's super underrated across the entire NFL, but I think his teammates do respect him for what he's done because they see him, racking up all these tackles. He had 110. I'm not sure what this number is actually, but he had a crazy amount of tackles last year. He plays a very important role in this defense and big time playmaker too. Like he had a couple forced fumbles. He's all over the field making plays and in coverage too against the run. Like he's just an all around really good linebacker and a local Chicago kid too. So again, like you mentioned, like it's so cool that we have these Chicago kids becoming captains of the Bears because that's every Chicago kid's dream is to become a captain of the Chicago Bears. And for 2 of these people on the Bears, that's actually happened. So really well deserved. And yeah, I hope he gets more respect across the NFL because he's another one of those guys that is criminally underrated.
Let's talk about criminally underrated because looking at his stats, absolutely insane. 17 games, 3 interceptions. He caused 3 more with 7 pass deflections, 1 forced fumble, 2 fumble recoveries, 2.5 sacks, 155 total tackles, 91 being solo, 8 quarterback hits, and 8 tackles for loss. I mean, he literally said he based his game because he has always played outside linebacker off of Lance Briggs. And he just fills in that role. So I feel like we have a little low-key Brian Urlacher, Lance Briggs, linebacker duo all over again, which is such a great feeling because Chicago's so known for their linebackers. But these 2 are just a great combo, and it's going to be so sweet seeing like a photo of Kevin Byard, like maybe on the right side. I hope they do like a screen photo where it's those 2 in the back, like both of the captain symbols. Jaylon's like in the distance, and then Kevin Byard, who we're about to get into next, is right there too. But you have 4 captains on defense, which is pretty darn exciting, and all solid players.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, he's just big time playmaker, like you mentioned. And yeah, I mean, I think our linebackers could be one of the best duos in football. Like, I think compared to only having Roquan Smith here, which no disrespect to him, but I feel like I'd rather have 2 really good, honestly, 3 good linebackers and Jack Sanborn too, which we never really talk about him because he's not on the football field all the time because we're a nickel half the time. But, the linebackers we have on this team right now are just so freaking good. And as a Chicago Bears fan, I've always been used to having great linebackers. So I think it is pretty cool that we have good linebackers yet again. I think you're muted.
It would have been crazy if Jack Sanborn was also a captain because then you have like your 3 local Chicago kids that are all captains. But at the end of the day, TJ Edwards very deserving of it. Really gritty player. But also just that's what the theme I've kind of seen with this is every player has grit. Obviously, Caleb's the big one. the rookie, the first time, but which is exciting. But yeah, all these players have grit, which is good. And I know Don Burr is probably like, oh, we're Lions fans. We have grit. So, Don, if you're still in the chat, love to hear from you, buddy. But let's go into the last guy, new guy that we brought in last year from free agency, safety Kevin Byard on a 2-year, $15 million contract. Another absolute steal. Is the captain, last 3 seasons, 300 total tackles, over 30 pass deflections, 5 forced fumbles. A solid veteran that fills in for Eddie Jackson. And if we would have had, I think, Kevin Byard last year, I think we would have won at least one more game because Eddie Jackson he just didn't have it in him anymore. Nothing against him. I hope he does well in Baltimore. But Kevin Byard, what an upgrade. And he's also a multiple-time captain as well. Tennessee Titans. I don't think he was a captain for the Eagles, but obviously a captain again for the Bears.
Yeah, and Kevin Byard has never missed a game in his entire career due to injury. Knock on wood, obviously, but that is pretty crazy, right? That we're getting a guy that's so reliable at being on the football field when our last safety, Eddie Jackson, missed a decent amount of time due to injury. Last couple of years, he was pretty bad against the run. Not really a good tackler. When Kevin Byard is the exact opposite. He's a fantastic tackler, pretty good in coverage too. With the Tennessee Titans, he had a good amount of interceptions. He had a couple all-pro years too. So it's another guy that I feel like enough people are not talking about us adding him. Like he could be a big time upgrade over what we had last year in Eddie Jackson and only going to make our defense a lot better. So cool that all the, people on the Bears respect him enough, even being an outside guy coming in, they respect him enough to make him a captain in year 1 with the Chicago Bears. It really speaks to how much he's done with the Titans and with all the teams he's been on. Well, he's only been on the Titans and the Eagles, and his time with the Eagles wasn't really that good, but his time on the Titans was pretty fantastic, right? So I think it's definitely going to be a good fit here in Chicago.
And I love that we open up the season against the Titans, a little redemption game. Like, hey, you decided to trade me. Because like you said, Tennessee does have a pretty decent defense, but hey, I'm all for it. I like this pickup a lot. I like that he plays with a lot of energy. He's never not going after the ball. And I know that everyone was like, oh, he didn't play in the last preseason game, but then he was asked Matt Eberflus on Friday, hey, are you going to be playing Kevin Byard? He's like, which this is another thing. All starters are projected to play this upcoming Sunday against the Tennessee Titans. Things are just going in a good direction for this team, man. I'm feeling good right now.
100%. I mean, yeah, there's just so much positive energy right now, which I don't remember the last time it's been this positive since 2018. And we all know what happened in 2018, right? And if anything similar happens, 12 wins, even if we lose in the first round of the playoffs, like I would not be mad at that with the rookie quarterback, with the, brand new team basically. So it's definitely a good time to be a Bears fan.
I want to go to that real quick. So I released a video earlier today at 12-5 is my ceiling for the Bears. You look at the schedule, third easiest schedule in the NFL. A lot of good things could happen. We were talking before the show. Could you imagine if we start 0-2, like if the Bears beat the Texans somehow in Houston? Oh my God. This team's going to be really good. Like everyone is shaking in their boots right now. And it's so good walking into a season fully healthy, good to go. And that's what I'm most excited for right now. And I think that's because we brought in a whole new training staff. I don't know if a lot of people knew this, but we literally hired a new strength training coach, pretty much everything, new nutritionist, everything that involves the body. And it's obviously working out for the Bears. It's like Tevin Jenkins is still healthy, which is, knock on wood, pretty big deal.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, like you said, like I cannot remember a time where like all of our starters have been healthy for week 1. It seems like there's always somebody out. Like Tevin was out last year. We had Kyler Gordon out, or he got injured in the first game, right? But there's just so much positive energy right now where I could see 12 wins happening. I think the only thing that gives people pause is having a rookie quarterback, which you don't know what to expect from this rookie. But that's also a thing that could make our win prediction higher because we don't know what he brings. Like if he could be CJ Stroud level in year 1, like we could win 12, 13 games, right? Because we have a better team around Caleb than CJ Stroud had. So my expectation is only 10 wins probably, that would still be a fantastic season. But in terms of ceiling, I agree with you. Like it could be up to 12, maybe even 13, which I'm maybe being a little bit too optimistic about that. But I think our floor then is probably 7 wins, like same as last year. I think that'll probably be the floor. And if we win less than 7, then Flus has to be gone. I'm sorry. Like we have to win at least 7.
I was about to jump. Like if he does not win this game, if he does not win more games than last year, I'm sorry. I like Flus. I like the swagger. I like
Oh
what
yeah,
he's built. The problem is that I think if you fire him, this team loves playing for Matt Eberflus, and that's just a big concern for me.
I
And
get it.
these captains love Matt Eberflus too.
Oh
Like Flus definitely looked at this. It was like, all right, like they're obviously not going to give it to like Doug Kramer or something. Like you know what I mean? Like, but
yeah,
Flus like has built this culture of guys loving guys and making it like making it tough that you can't vote for 4 captains. He's like, there are so many leaders on this team. We need this absolutely. The sky is the absolute limit for this team. And I'm pretty excited about it. And one thing I do want to hit on real quick while you're here, Rashab, is Rashab and I are hosting a watch party for week 2, Bears versus Texans at Rizzo's Bar and Inn, September 15th. Doors open at 5 p.m. nice and early so you guys can come in, hang out. We're going to have a pregame show going on. We're going to be walking around with a bunch of other content creators, but it'll be at Rizzo's Bar and Inn in Wrigleyville, Illinois, sponsored by Freshly Organic Tequila and Authentico Organic Tequila. Make sure you guys come today. Link is in the description right now to get your ticket. Tickets are $20. It gets you your entry fee, a margarita that's Bears colored, and a donation to charity. So you guys definitely don't want to miss it because the Bears could be walking into that game 1-0 and walking out 2-0. I'm taking work off on Monday. That's a lock. There's no way. Win or lose,
yeah.
we still booze.
I really want to as well. I got a big tax deadline the next day, so I'm not sure if I can. But no matter how late we have to be up that night, I will be there for sure. And you guys should definitely come. And all you guys in the chat, be sure to get your tickets. It's going to be a lot of fun, especially if we win that game. Can you imagine being with a bunch of Bears fans watching that game? That would be a lifelong memory that you would have. So, going to be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it.
And we got a birthday party that day. One of our loyal fans, Levante, will be turning. It will be his birthday that day, so we will be celebrating with him. So make sure you guys get a ticket and come by. But tell your family, tell your friends. It's going to be a ton of fun, and we're even working on getting some special guests to be there as well, not just other content creators, but former Bears players. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. But Rashab, anything else you want to say about the captains before we close out?
Nah, man, I'm just super excited about how the season has turned out. And the fact that we have 8 captains really speaks to how many great players we have on this team. I feel like in 2022, you cannot even name 8 players on the roster if you weren't a diehard Chicago Bears fan. So the fact that we have, 8 star players on this team is a pretty cool thing. And even guys like Montez Sweat cannot make the cut because we have this many good players. So, I think it's a very, very exciting time to be a Bears fan.
Well, you don't think Chase Claypool could have been a captain?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could have been right for the one catch that he had with us, 1 or 2 big catches that he made. I can't. Yeah, don't remind me of Chase Claypool. That's the only bad thing that Ryan Poles has ever done. I feel like if he didn't do that, he would be a certified best GM in the league, which he still could be after this trade that he made.
I think that he's going to win Executive of the Year.
If the Bears win, 11, 12 games, he's guaranteed to win Executive of the Year. Flus is going to win Coach of the Year. Flus actually has the highest odds, I think, to win Coach of the Year, and also the highest odds to be fired at the end of the season, which is pretty funny.
That's something very strange. If you can wait, I gotta find that screenshot. I want to see.
Yeah, maybe it's not like number 1, but he's definitely like number 2 in both those rankings. It's like high up there to be fired first or to be Coach of the Year, which it makes sense though, right? Because this Bears team has so many high expectations where it's going to go either way. Like it's either we're going to win enough games or we're going to not win enough games and he's gone. So
we're going to win enough games. My floor is 10-7. My ceiling's 12-5. So it really depends on how but we're sweeping the pack. That's a fact. So, and we're sweeping the Lions too, Don Burr. I know you're shaking in your boots a little bit over there. So, but yeah, things are going to be fun.
They could barely beat Justin Fields. Just watch out for Caleb Williams.
Oh man. Okay. Now we're just getting that's a statement right there. But Rashab, thanks for joining, man. I really appreciate it. And Rashab, where can I put your YouTube channel in the description, but where can everyone else find you?
Yeah, you can look me up on YouTube. The Windy City Productions. All my socials are on there too. But thanks for having me, Nick. I'll definitely have to have you on my channel too at some point this year. Always a fun time.
We'll absolutely make it happen because week 1's here, guys. We're pumped about it. And again, if you haven't already, make sure you enter our Caleb Williams football giveaway. All you got to do is like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts in the comment section below on the captains. But with that, thank you, as always, for tuning into this episode of Just Another Year Chicago Bears. My name is Nick Brody, joined alongside Rashad from the Windy City Productions, and we will see you guys next time. Bear down, baby.